Do you
Okay.
want to like just kind of introduce yourself a little bit? Because as you play something else than chess.
Yeah, sure. I am Smallant. I generally play just a variety of stuff. Usually like either speedruns or challenges. I'm doing like, Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, getting into Minecraft recently. It's mostly what I'm doing. All right.
Well, I saw that you played some games. I mean, I thought when you said that you hadn't really played any chess at all, that you
Yeah.
like were a complete, like you had never played. But I was looking at your games and you were winning people out of like your first 3 games that you ever played, and you're playing really good games. So I was really impressed.
Okay, because yeah, I've played, what is this, like, this is literally like the entire history of chess that I've ever played is like on chess.com. I don't think I've played maybe like 4 games outside of chess.com in my life.
Okay, so I'm just gonna teach you like some principles of chess, just so you kind of know what to go for. When you're playing chess, the first thing you always want to do in the opening is that you always want to try to get as much center as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, for instance, how do you typically start your games with the white pieces?
I don't know. It'd either be like, I don't know, one of these 2 pieces, probably this one.
So, if you just like, you can just go ahead and play this move, and then we
Okay.
can just kind of go on from here. The second thing you want to do in the opening is that you want to develop your minor pieces as quickly as you can as well. Whoops, that's not a minor piece. These ones. So you want to develop those as quickly as you can, and you want to castle as well as quickly as you can. Okay, so most people will play e5 after e4.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you typically do here?
Something like that, I would guess.
Yeah, that's a really good move. This is all book stuff. This is all good.
All right.
So, okay, so I guess that black would go knight c6 just to defend this pawn.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you typically do here?
I don't know. Probably something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a really good move as well. That's really good because you want to try to get the center.
Right.
I think generally that it's so cool that you can like find all of these moves without ever have gone through this. Because this is not easy stuff. Like typically when you talk to somebody who's not really played a lot of chess, like these moves don't really come intuitively, but they are coming intuitively to you. So, okay, so you're going d4, you're playing the scotch, you know, all about the scotch. I'm gonna take you.
Apparently. Yeah, now at this point, I'm pretty much lost because like there's so many different things and I don't know what the best thing to do because obviously you could like take with different things.
Have you gone through the value of each piece? Like, do you know how many points each piece is worth?
Aren't like knights and bishops kind of about equal? Is it rooks? Is that what the castles are?
Yeah.
Rooks? Yeah, rooks are like the most valuable things that aren't the queen, basically.
Yep, exactly. So actually it's a lot easier. So the pawns are just like 1 point. You can just think about it that way. The knights and bishops are 3 points.
Okay, and then
The
5 for the rook.
Rook is 5 points.
And queen's 8.
9.
Close.
So, I mean,
and
that's
what's the king worth again?
I mean, the king is worth everything because if the king is gone, it's game over. But then maybe they will go something like knight f6 to get the knight out.
Would it be better to like get a pawn out or like move a bishop? Because like a bishop would allow you to castle, but I don't know what the more kind of valuable move is here.
Yeah. So in every position, you gotta kind of like think about what your opponent is threatening. So whenever they play a move, then just the first thing that needs to go to your mind is, are they threatening anything? So when when black is going knight f6, is there any threat here?
Yeah, they'll take the pawn potentially.
Exactly, yeah. So
Yeah,
it
and I
makes
guess
sense
the
that you want to play
bishop-
f3.
Yeah, and then the bishop would make sense because it blocks off the protection that the queen has for the knight. Okay,
So yeah, that's the issue.
so it'd be something like that. Okay.
So f3 makes sense, but there's a rule in chess which basically is like with big letters, never go f3.
Okay. Is that because it opens up the diagonal for the king or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So you actually want to take another piece to defend this one.
Okay.
Good. Exactly. Okay, well, I'm gonna be a little bit annoying. I'm gonna go bishop b4.
Would you do something like that? Or no? No, that's never mind.
It's not something you can do immediately because you wanted to place your bishop on d3, just like you said. But the problem then is that you're blocking out the queen's protection of the knight.
Yeah.
Just like you said. So is there anything you could do to make sure that you actually can go bishop d3? Is there anything immediate you could do so that this knight is not hanging on d4?
I imagine moving it here would be best. It's hard because it's moving it closer to the side makes them like bad.
Yeah, typically if you say that it's going to the side, then you would say that it's going to like the A file or the H file. And then there is this saying that is like, the knight on the rim is grim.
Yeah, because it only has like 4 moves, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have so many
Potentially,
squares.
up to.
But if you go knight b3, then I can still do the exact same thing as I wanted to do before. I can still take, and then take there. Or I can take here immediately.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
is there anything more immediate you could do?
Take is a better move, I guess?
Exactly, yes. Because now I need to take back. I don't have time to do anything else. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah,
losing
because
my
you
knight.
have to, or else I'll get your queen. Yeah, okay.
And now, finally, you can bring your bishop out to the square you wanted to bring it.
Okay.
Okay, so now you got like a pretty decent position. What are your thoughts here? What are your plans?
I have no idea. No clue. This is where, like, I feel like you have to plan ahead, but, like, it's so hard to keep track of everything. Yeah, I don't know. Probably something like either start moving a rook out or moving the bishop. I'm not sure how far out, but that'd probably be what I would look at. I'm not sure, though.
Those are some good plans. Those are really good plans. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
really good plans. I actually like all of them. Those were 3 really good moves that you said there. So yeah, so either in this, okay, now it's black to play, of course, but let's say that I would go, for instance, d5 in this position. I'm trying to take control of the center. So that's why I want to go d5 instead of d6, because I immediately want to challenge the center.
I think doing something like that would move this. Also, the pawn wouldn't be able to get hit anymore.
I love it.
don't know
I
if
would do
that's-
that move too. But the reason why I would do this move is because of a reason, and it's because you're activating this bishop on d3. So this bishop was before blocked by a pawn, so
Yeah.
it was almost like a big pawn. You can sort of think about it as like a big pawn here because it's not really
Yep.
doing anything. So after you go e5, then there might be some like bishop h7 at some point. I mean, not now, but you might be able to go queen h5 and then, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
there's some checkmate threats. So you're really activating the position and you're making this position a lot more active for you. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go full on. I'm gonna attack the pawn.
I think if I was playing by myself, I would probably do that.
Bishop f4. That's a really good move.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're developing a piece and you're defending the pawn at the same time. That's 2 in 1. That's what you should try to be doing. Okay. All right, we're not gonna go super far, but I just wanted to like sort of teach you the main principles. We can just go ahead and play a game, and I'm sure there'll come up tactics in the game, and then if you don't find them, we can look at them after together.
Okay. Just a regular game is what you were saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So just challenge it like a normal 10-minute game. I saw you play typically 10-minute games.
Okay. Just do my best here, I guess.
Yep. You can tell us like what you're thinking while you're playing as well.
Yeah. Defend the pawn in some way. I'm not sure the best way to do this. Probably that.
Yeah, that's good. You're defending a pawn. Look at this. They're playing what you played. They're playing the Scotch as well.
Yeah, no, I have no idea how to play against myself. I don't even know how to play myself. Okay. I guess I'm gonna do it anyways. Yeah, okay, that's what I was talking about. I don't know what to do now. Yeah, now I basically just have to retreat with my my knight. So that definitely wasn't good. Sure.
Yeah, that's a good square. You don't really want to go back to b8. That's kind of sad. So it's better to go. It's better to go
At
to
least
e7.
gets me slightly more options. I was thinking about moving this pawn forwards, but maybe just move the bishop, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. You're developing a piece. The pawn on d6 could become perhaps weak at some point if you would have pushed the c6 pawn.
I guess I'd have to push the queen forwards because I don't want to move the king yet. Okay.
Okay, this has been an aggressive game. You have castled queen side. Your opponent has castled king side. Do you know what you have to do then?
No clue.
Attack.
So if I'm going to attack, what is the move? And when you say attack, do you mean like try and take a piece like this turn? Or like set one up?
I'm actually, you don't have to do anything like immediately, but I sort of mean more like setting up a plan to checkmate white's king.
Okay. Probably try and get some pieces out.
Yep. That's always a good thing. One way to attack your opponent's king is to start pushing your pawns, because those are the pawns that can break the pawns in front of the king, so they would weaken the whole king basically if they get pushed far enough.
Okay, I think I'd maybe start with that. They didn't go further than that, so I mean, if they take this pawn, there's just nothing I can do. I can move the king over. Yeah. They're doing something.
They're doing something, but it's your turn to do something too. So you have to create your own attack, because right now they're trying to get an attack on your king, but you gotta be faster.
Not sure if I need to push this once or twice. I don't know. I'll just do that.
Good. G5.
Yeah, okay.
This guy is playing fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't be scared. Keep on going with your plan. You got 2.5 minutes. So you're gonna have to play fast now.
Yeah.
But like for me, playing fast is also the most difficult thing. I get timed out so many games as well. It's not good.
I don't have that like the sense to be like, okay, I should be looking at this part of the board yet. You know, I have to like look at everything instead of, you know, I don't know which parts I can ignore yet.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I would say that a good rule of thumb is that if you don't feel like they're like threatening anything the next move, then you can just go on with your plan. All right, yeah. You're kicking away the knight, that's good. But once again, keep on going with your plan, because as long as you're trying to defend, like, they are not posing any immediate attack in this position. So as long as you're trying to defend it, you're just losing time and attacking their king. As soon as you start attacking their king, they are going to have to be playing very passively.
I don't think I want to take here because that opens up the rook to attack my king. So just leave that be.
Time to push some pawns.
Oh, too late.
That's okay. That's a good move too. You gotta get it out at some point. But it's good that you're seeing that it's dangerous to take the knight on b5, because your king would be super exposed after a file is open.
Could just like slide the queen over and then move it down, and there's really no recourse for me, or not too much at least that I can see.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This guy's playing well. Wow.
They would have to take, but then I just don't have enough time to think of everything.
Go with your intuition. Better to play something than nothing now. So right now, are you just okay?
Yeah, okay. If I take that, they can move. Just every piece is stuck for me on the left side, or like left of the king. Everything is stuck, which is everything.
Yeah, the time is super low.
I gotta do something. Yeah.
Time is super low. Time is super low. We'll go through all of this after this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, but that was a good game. You just, like you said, you just played slowly basically, so you just ran out of time at the end. Okay, so let's go from the beginning, because I thought that you played really well. Like, okay, like for instance, after d4, you remember how when I played against you, I took here on d4.
Okay.
The reason why I took here was because I mean, otherwise it just gets kind of cramped. Like you saw that after the knight moved, you sort of got a little bit cramped here with all your. So it just opens up the position a bit. Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense. Because, my knight was pretty much stuck when they pushed the pawn forwards.
You can play it, but it's just really boring to play that. So, I don't know. I'd rather not do it. So, I think it's better to take. But, yeah, you went here, and that's the best you could do out of it. I thought bishop d7 is fine. Typically, you don't really want to exchange this bishop, because this is your good bishop here. These pawns are all in dark squares, which make the bishop on f8, the dark square bishop, a really bad one, because it's kind of stuck here. It will never be able to get out because all of these pawns are on the same square, color square, basically. Yeah. Maybe c6 was better. I don't know. I told you to play bishop d7. Bishop d7 is fine. I thought it was good to get piece development. Anyways, takes, knight c3, that made sense. And you castled queenside, and I actually really like this. But the moment you castle this way, and the reason why I like this is because these pieces are still undeveloped, so it would have taken a long time for you to castle the other way. Yeah,
didn't really have any opportunity to.
But the thing you need to think about is the moment you castle queenside, you're gonna have to go crazy on the other king.
Okay, and what kind of move would start an attack for you? Like in this position, what would you do here?
So white castled here, and yes, in this position, I would probably have. I thought that f6 was a pretty good move. I kind of like f6. I also kind of like, I mean, f6 is to go g5, just like you did. But
yeah,
your idea is to go f6, g5, h5, and just push these pawns like crazy, and then try to get your pieces up here. Another actually cool idea is the idea of going for a rook lift.
What's that?
That is when you like push your pawn. I don't know, let's say that you would go h5, and I don't really know
and then you can just slip your rook out? Okay.
You slip your rook out super early, and I don't know, like after something like this, I mean, queen here, you're starting to have some threats on the king.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's one idea actually, that's one idea. And you see, now the game completely changes. Now you're the one who's attacking the other king.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? So, so I think that's what you had to do. You kind of like waited a bit. You got kind of scared of what your opponent would do. And I think that's like really common, that you just sort of get scared of plans that are not really there yet, but that maybe could be in a few moves. But I mean, just like save your king whenever you have to save it. You don't have to do it before that. Actually, also g5 is a really good move, because this knight here is not really doing a lot, right? The knight can't really do a lot of things from here. It's not really like being useful for this position. Can you find any square that this knight could be better in?
I mean, that's pretty much the only place it can move to without getting taken, right?
Yes. So that's where you can move, and then if you move there, then is there any square after that which would be really good? So it doesn't have to be a square that's one move away.
Let's see. Moving it here means that happens there, but it challenges the... I guess moving it here would that force them to take, because they... I imagine it's probably this square. I don't know why, but I feel like there's enough going on that it's probably this square.
Yeah. So instead of like thinking exactly what you would have to do after a single move, it's more about principles. So like there's nothing immediate that you can do after the queen moves. Like the queen goes to d2 and that's about it. But what you did was that you moved this knight, which was on e7, from a pretty bad square where it's not really doing anything. You moved it all the way up to f4, which is a square where it's sort of posing some kind of attack on the king. It's looking at this pawn on g2. And it's just a lot more active here, so it could help out in an attack with the pawns, for instance, at some point as well. There's nothing immediate you need to think that, okay, I go here, that person goes there, I go here, that person will go here, because there's just an infinite amount of moves that your opponent could play. So it's really difficult to think about it that way. So
I think I kind of, after looking at that again, I think I completely forgot that there were two pawns here, kind of protecting the knight. So I guess that position makes a lot more sense now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There are two pawns. And that's a big important thing. If there was just this pawn, that would have changed the whole thing, because there is a bishop here that can take the knight. But if the knight goes here and you take with the g pawn, then all of a sudden the g file is open.
And you can sneak your rook out after just moving the knight.
Yeah, I mean, before we were going for the rook lift with like rook h6, rook g6, but here you would just be able to get the open file immediately.
Okay.
And that's basically like when you're castling opposite sides, that's the dream come true. You would do anything to get an open file. Like some people would even give away a piece for that. So if you can just get that open file for free, it's going to be really good. So yeah, that's why knight f4 is a good move. And that's why g5 was also a good move, not just because it can like start pushing here, but because it's also defending these squares. So if you ever place a piece in these squares, you should never be afraid of your opponent taking them, because you can always take back and open the g file. And chess is a lot more fun when you are the one attacking.
For sure.
Because if you're just like defending the whole game, it's just, I don't know, it's just not as fun, basically. You can't be as creative. Yeah,
it's just reacting to what the other person is doing rather than coming up with your own ideas.
Exactly. So, well, I think that's about it. I'm going to check out Michelle, Michelle Kerr, who I've been coaching, is playing Mr. Beast in 10 minutes. So we're going to be checking out that game.
Hope that goes well. Thanks for the little lesson here. I appreciate it. It's fun.
I hope that you feel like you learned something.
I definitely did, yeah. It definitely leave me with a lot of stuff to think about, for sure. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. I hope that you beat your friend a lot more times now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a big thumbs up and also to subscribe. If you ever want to catch me live, go ahead and go to twitch.tv/AnnaCramling. Hope to see you there.